So, welcome back to our podcast, and today is the 26th of April, and you're back with me, Henry and Zaid. But today we have a special guest in the studio.
Mr. Brandon.
Good afternoon, good morning, ladies and germs. How are you all? Thank you for the amazing applaud.
Thank you, Mr. Brendan,
Nice
for
to have you
finally
here.
showing up.
Yeah, I made it. I was stuck in traffic.
Oh, for 3 months.
3 months, this is some hectic traffic. Barcelona is becoming famous, popular.
Yes, sir. I live in there actually, and
So you know what I'm talking about then.
yes, Zaid, but want to say the question of the day?
Question of the day. What was Stephen Hawking's business in Epstein Island?
Apparently, Epstein was very interested in physics and cosmology, from what I've heard. And I think that he funded some of Hawkins' research. That's how they became sort of friends. And then, of course, he invited him to his parties, and we all know what happened after that.
So, what I've heard, at least through Instagram reels, is that he liked watching midgets doing math equation on a blackboard. Have you heard about it?
I haven't heard that particular one, but I did hear that there was a lot of women who were pleasuring him. I think everybody's in a bit of a strange position with regarding Epstein. It's the same as what's happening with P. Diddy now. I don't know if you guys know.
Yeah, P. Diddy.
Yeah, that's more from my time, but it's exactly the same thing. People are coming out saying that he was filming them at parties. They film you in order to have, what's the word that I'm looking for? Evidence, or to buy you. So if you've got a video, so what they do is they spike your drink. It's a common occurrence if you're a male or female, and then they do sexual things to you while being filmed, and then they show you the video as evidence, and then you're theirs, basically. It's a very, very dirty industry. So that's actually very similar. However, with Epstein, people have suggested that it was a bit more of a formally run thing, that he was actually a Mossad
Mossad agent.
implant for American businessmen and everything, so that Israel and Mossad could keep them under their... Because, look, the way that you kept is through sexual abuse and through sexual... This is your name can be ruined with that. I don't think there's anything more severe than that.
Yeah, I think like Epstein's wife Ghislaine had connections with the Mossad. I think her father or something there.
In fact, the surname Epstein is Jewish. It's Ashkenazi Jew. So Weinstein, Epstein, Finkelstein, all these surnames, they're Jewish.
So Epstein is Jewish.
If you trace it back, the surname, it's originally German, but it's German Jewish. It's Ashkenazi Jew.
Okay.
So
you guys want to elaborate what you call it, Mozart or
Mossad.
Mossad.
To the viewers, because maybe not everybody's familiar with it.
Mossad's basically the intelligence unit of Israel. Basically, they do a lot of stuff. What do you say? Their names pop up in the 9/11 conspiracy that they did. They're involved with it, and a lot of stuff. They torture people abroad. They help US with a lot of intelligence. I don't know exactly, but I think.
Well, they're basically like the FBI. They're the FBI branch of Israel, but a little bit more secret and more highly funded by the American taxpayer.
I heard the Mossad did some stuff in Africa.
I think they've got their fingers in many pies, to be honest. So yeah, America funded, as usual.
You know what? Before that, introduce yourself. Tell me.
Yeah.
Well, my name is Brandon, from what I can gather. Well, that's the name that my mother gave this vessel.
Vessel?
Yeah, this vessel, this body. Though I'm not really Brandon. I'm so much more than that.
What are you?
What am I? I'm an amalgamation of atoms, hydrogen, oxygen, H2O, little bit of iron, hemoglobin,
Testosterone?
Oh, you're right about that. Yeah, and so I'm originally from South Africa, But I left when I was very young to go work and travel abroad and open my mind, expand, because I always realized that there was a lot more to life than what I had been told. I always felt out of place, always, from a very, very young age.
What do you
Super
mean
out
by
of place.
What do you mean by out of place?
I felt like I was not from this planet in a very superficial sense. I felt I couldn't really relate to many people. I didn't have very many friends when I was younger, and
That's surprising.
yeah,
You're,
and
you're the student's favorite here.
yeah. I mean, I had friends when in kind of like in the high school times, but when I was younger, not really, not really. Very many. My friends would be playing football in the park or riding their bicycles, and then I would go to the Buddhist temple. I had one actually near my house.
Oh.
And I would pretend to meditate. I didn't really know what it was, and then I would see these statues. See, it was always like this thing since I was young of this calling of trying to find some sort of spiritual purpose. However we interpret spiritual purpose depends. I found that purpose by looking at Buddhism. To me, seemed to open that. Well, it should give me like a little glimpse of what's the possibility. Because ultimately, Buddhism and Buddhist teachings are yoga. It's yogic teachings.
Yoga?
It's just been refined. Yeah. So really, I wouldn't consider Buddhism a religion. I would consider it a yogic philosophy. When Siddhartha, who was Buddha, kind of refined the teachings to make them a bit more simple.
So these these Buddhist teaching, no,
They
not
were all
Buddhist
yogis.
teachings.
They were, but
So-
he was studying from yogis,
Oh, okay.
and then he gave a message, and that message turned into Buddhism. But really, ultimately, the study of Buddhism is the study of yoga. And when I say yoga, I don't mean asanas. I'm talking about proper yoga.
I had this confusion. I thought yoga my whole life as an Indian was just, these poses
Yeah.
and stretching
No,
and
no.
all that stuff.
Yoga is a way of life. It's based on deep studies, tantric stuff.
It involves
it's
a lot of
very
rituals.
complex. Yeah, rituals, ways of life, ahimsa, non-violence, asanas, breath work, pranayama, extremely deep stuff. Yeah. The question is, where did the Indians get that from? You know, who passed this knowledge down? Who told you that by following your breath you could attain certain
Yeah,
levels of?
I always had a how do they refine like how you say Fova and what do you say, what is the other one, Tumo. How did they refine it such, like from what do you say, from me being here just knowing nothing and refining it to that point,
Well, because the breath has always been the key. Because you breathe involuntarily. You don't make yourself breathe. So this involuntary breathing can be observed, and it can focus the mind. And so they realized that the breathing, it could be observed, but they didn't have to focus their mind on it to make it happen. And by focusing and by fixing on the breathing, they started to realize that the mind could be calmed. And then through there, they were attaining these different things. So it's the whole fact that breathing is involuntary is the fact that that's the key to everything.
Okay.
And then if we want to go deeper, we can talk about channels and holding the breath in and expelling the breath, practicing techniques like Tumo, where you incorporate deep breathing and visualization.
Oh, yeah, I think you should tell the audience more about Tumo and
Okay,
Fova.
well, if we go back, we need to realize that Buddhism split off eventually, and it went to Japan. It went to China first, and it was called Dhyana, yeah, which formed into Zen Buddhism.
Zen is Japanese, right?
Yeah, but that comes from the Chinese Buddhists first. The Chinese went to Japan and then introduced this. And dhyana means breath, breathing. So Zen Buddhism was more fixed on just breathing and just meditation. But then there was another yogi called Padmasambhava. And Padmasambhava, he was Indian. And he took these teachings up to Tibet. And he knew tantric stuff. And so he taught them tantric techniques on how to heat the body through using the breath. And this was the origin of the technique called tumo. Using visualizations, the flame coming up into the body through the central channels, holding the flame there, and then slowly the body starts to heat up. Because if you think about it, the placebo is very strong, the placebo effect. There's even things known as phantom pregnancies. Women believe that they're pregnant to such a degree that their stomachs actually start to get big. Their breasts start to produce milk. And yeah. But then we talk about poha. So my argument then why I've always dismissed other religions is that these techniques they practice, especially poha with the expulsion of the consciousness, they do that in order because they know that their consciousness can join with the unity and they're not taking rebirths again. So is that unity God, Allah? And they've practiced it so many times that this God, Allah, is accepting them when they expel their consciousness by practicing poha. So they wouldn't do it if it was evil, because they just want to join with the unity. So let's look at it this way. They want to join with the unity. They want to join with the everything. I don't think they want to join with evil. You know what I mean? And I think they are much more realized beings than we will ever be.
Well, that's why in the Bible, not in the Bible, I think in Islam, well, the shaitan, the Iblis, the Satan. I don't know if Satan is Iblis, but he got cast out of heaven because he thought he was higher than the humans. He did not bow down. That's why he got sent down. Not sent down. He got punished. He's now his destiny is hell.
A fallen angel.
Yeah, that's a biblical belief. But yeah, so you could say is in that way, thinking yourself that you can join with unity with God, it's your arrogance. You could say.
No, I think that you want to go back to your father. That's all I think. I don't think it's. I don't think you think you're superior to your father.
Not superior.
I think you want to just be in unity with him again. And I think that's the ultimate objective of all religions, is to unify with your God. That's my opinion on it. Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Yeah.
So what you were saying that in Quran maybe this is considered something like
It's considered blasphemy.
Because
I'm talking about this perspective. He's talking about that perspective. Yeah, I don't want to debate.
Yeah.
because as an outsider, like it's kind of ridiculous to think if you just meditate and it becomes something like guilt.
So that's the atheist opinion, right?
I feel like from outsider perspective, it's kind of ridiculous to say.
To feel guilt.
Yeah, if I feel good from simply just
Meditating.
meditating.
Yeah, I kind of agree. When you start to practice meditation, you realize that there's nothing unholy about it. It's just that you're discovering your own mind. That's all it is.
Yeah, that's all it is.
I mean, I've never seen like entities or the devil whispering in my ear, "Hi, you're meditating. You're not." What? No, I'm following my breath. You know what I mean? That's it.
And let's switch back to the question, like
Yeah.
about Steve Hawking. Yeah, you want to say?
No, not Steve Hawking. Let's switch it up more.
No, I mean by it's not about Steve Hawking, but in general. Do you think that the behaviors like of him and P Diddy take away from anything they have achieved? Of course, P Diddy didn't achieve as much as Steve Hawking, but
No, I don't think that. I mean, it's the same as Donald Trump. Like, if he was... I believe that he was a good president for the United States. He was the only president that didn't get them into any war.
really,
Yeah. Other presidents and prime ministers were actually scared of him. You know, they obeyed him. So whatever your opinion of Trump is, it's... I think sometimes we need to forget about the person's past and just look at them for what they're achieving. So he liked to watch midgets draw on the board. Well, Stephen Hawkins, I mean. Well, that doesn't detract from the fact that he was an amazing scientist. P. Diddy, in my opinion, he didn't really achieve very much. I don't think somebody who raps about hoes and guns is anything to be noble about.
Controversial.
It's like...
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, like the fact that you've got so many millions of followers shows the kind of society we live in my opinion.
I mean, he doesn't really have any good song anyway. I mean, he has one.
I don't know who that guy is.
No, every breath you take,
but again,
every move you make.
I heard of that
but
song.
again, did he write the song?
No, that chorus came from another song, but then he put the rap into it because his friend Biggie Smalls had been murdered, right?
But the question is, like, the part that go viral is like like the melodies.
That's from another song.
It's not his.
No.
And you don't remember the rap part he has. Right?
No, it's kind of hard with you not around. That's all I remember. But apart from that, I've just, when I was younger, I listened to hip hop and rap music. But then as I got older and I just realized that it's definitely surrounded with an element of violence and negativity. Like, you shouldn't be rapping about stuff like that. I don't know. It's just, even profanity. I try not to use profanity. I try not to say fuck, stuff like that.
Bleep, bleep, bleep.
Yeah, bleep, please bleep that out. No, but I really do, because I think that it shows a lack of intelligence when you just use profanity all the time.
I agree.
So I think language is super important. It shows intelligence.
Yeah, as a child, I used to listen to rap songs, but then then COVID hit, I didn't listen to music for a bit, and I started seeing these videos about the lyrics and stuff. Then I listened to the songs I listened before. I'm like, what am I listening to? The lyrics. What am I listening
it's the
to?
new song, the Carnival. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Carnival.
If you look at the lyrics, it's pretty.
Yeah, but this is what I mean. I find more beauty also in work which has been done kind of like where they play the instruments. It takes a little bit more technique to create something. Play the instruments, write the song. I don't know. Maybe I'm just old school.
About that Mossad, he was a Freemason.
Yeah, old Mosey.
What do you think about Freemasonry, sir?
I don't really know about Freemasons very much. I know that it's, what I think it is, to be honest with you. I feel it's an overgrown gentleman's club.
You don't think it has influence?
I think it used to. But I think it's kind of dying out. Because I think young people these days are not Freemasons. I think at the universities, I forget which ones in the States, they used to have Skull and Bones Society, you know what I mean? And then those people, they would expand into the Freemasons. So I think it's a big boys club of men, basically.
But I think it's mostly people. What do you say? Let's say what do you say? The dad's a Freemason, so the son also becomes a Freemason. I think it
Hierarchy.
goes that way,
Like a hierarchy, maybe. Yeah.
Like Freemason might grow it that way, but only
I think it used to be a little bit more. I think it was like nobles, knights, soldiers. You back then, nobles as well. Yeah. And then maybe they would keep some secrets from other people. But now I think it's kind of just like a cultural thing, to be honest. I don't know if it's as esoteric as we think. Okay. Like the Knights Templar, I think, I could be wrong here, I think the Knights Templar evolved into the Freemasons.
I couldn't find much about Knights Templar anywhere. But I saw this image where it's it shows it's all Freemasonry, so you have 12 degrees of Knights Templar and 33 degrees of Freemasonry, and it all goes to the same pyramid. I'll put that image up there.
Yeah, do that, yeah. But however, it is interesting because on the American dollar bill, they do have the pyramid, the all-seeing eye. Yeah. They've got a lot of sort of
saw the owl on the dollar?
Yeah, the owl, the 13 spikes in the eagle's hand, claw. Yeah. So I don't know.
Well,
What do you think?
I have never heard of a Freemason before Zaid brought it up like 2 months ago. He tried to convince me to go to
Yeah, me too.
yeah, I didn't want to go there. Basically, I'm not into this kind of stuff. But I'm guessing you, Brendan, you're too busy to go. Or
Took me 3 months to get here.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Told you.
Another 6 months for that.
Yeah. So tell me about like what is.
Do you want to open that straw? Because it's like,
I do want to try it.
yeah, it's like kind of irritating.
I guess we'll try the KDD, do a review.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So you want to tell us about this?
KDD. So this is an iconic drink with which most kids in Kuwait grew up drinking. Yeah.
Yep.
And as
Chocolate milk, yeah?
chocolate milk, but it's very iconic.
It better be halal, eh?
It is halal. Wait, Brian, you try it.
2% milk fat.
Enriched with vitamins.
Yeah, I'm gonna check if this fit my diet. I'm cutting.
Your diet.
Yes.
It's a cheat day.
Cheat day, come on. Podcast day.
No one's dieting.
Let's try this.
That's really good. I like it.
That's good. Thank you so much, KDD. See you in Kuwait.
That is really good. I'm not even lying. How much does this
That's
cost?
good.
This is wait. Let me see.
Take a guess. How much this costs?
1 year, 150 maybe?
In
euros?
61. Is it cents here?
61 cents.
Yeah, cents.
That's good. I'll buy it.
Pretty good price, eh? That's good. So yeah,
Brought it from Kuwait.
thank you, Mr. Z, for bringing this, and KDD, you're the man. Fund me, watch me on my Instagram. Joking. I don't have any social media. Many years ago, I regret it, but I had a spiritual awakening, and I kind of lost my mind in a way because I didn't understand what was happening. And I had a Facebook account with all of my history, all of the photos of all the countries that I traveled to. Not that I'm bragging or anything, because we all have a life, but I lived a life of travel, different countries, Asia, South America, various things. And then when I moved here, I had this kind of like awakening, and I just had to be alone. I had to be out of society. So I deleted my whole past. I closed all of my social media accounts. I closed everything. I lost all my photos. I lost all my friends that I'd met around the world. And I took my mobile phone and I threw it into the sea.
Really?
Yeah. Down in Barceloneta. And I didn't have a mobile phone for 2 years.
What if someone took that phone and like plugged it in, got it
Wow, it was in the water.
Oh, yeah.
It's probably ruined. So yeah, that's kind of what happened. And then I kind of became a recluse. And while I was going through this whole spiritual evolution, and there's actually a name for it. It's called something like the dark night of the soul. A lot of people, it happens to when they go through some kind of spiritual awakening, they lose touch with people. I started having astral projections. I started going into lucid dreaming spontaneously. It felt like I was having this massive download. It felt like my third eye just opened up like this, and all of this information about the nature of reality was just pouring into my brain constantly. And because it was waking up this thing, even when I was asleep, my subconscious was putting me into a waking state of lucid dreaming and astral projection. I remember one night I got home early in the morning and I was lying in bed, and I just started like shaking like this, and my eyes were rolling in the back, and it felt like my spirit was trying to expel itself into an astral realm. And it was to the extent that I was physically being affected by it. Like, normally I would go through these realms through my consciousness at night. The gate is the moment of sleep. But this time, it was actually my whole body that was vibrating and expelling this consciousness or the soul or something, which I think resides here. I think it's not here. It's here. Your heart. That's why all cultures speak about the heart.
Even in
I
Islam.
think your consciousness or whatever it is resides in the heart, not in the mind. Yeah.
Even
Even
in
though we
Islam.
think it resides here, it's actually here.
Yeah, even in Islam, it talks about the soul being.
There's a story, I mean, you can read about it. It might be hard to find, but this guy had a heart transplant.
Yeah.
And he started to have memories of the previous person's life, whose heart he got.
You heard about it?
Yeah, I heard about this. Yeah.
That's because the heart is where everything resides. In every culture in the world, they talk about the heart.
Scientists found these pattern of neurons on the heart, which looks like the patterns on the brain.
That's true. They found, kinds of neurons, yeah.
I get what you guys saying. Like, there's consciousness in your heart, but also like if you take in the case of, well, I just went through this the other day because why not? I saw a video about octopus. So basically, he has neurons, like consciousness, distributed all of his like legs and limbs. So if you cut it off, they can think it. So they can think themselves. So was that saying? What I'm trying to say is maybe it does reside in your heart, but it's also in your head, and the majority is in your head. That's what I'm thinking.
No, I think there's two elements here. The brain is one thing. It's like the motor. And the heart is the gasoline. So the brain is what is connected to the senses. Touch, taste, see. And then through the senses, you experiment your reality. You experience your reality. I can touch you. You can feel that. Eyes, taste. Okay. So this is how you form the reality. But this underlying vibrational energy of what it is reality, that is from the heart. So think about this. Think of like a Wi-Fi, right? The brain can connect to the Wi-Fi and have an experience like this. But the heart is needed to pump, boom, to keep us connected. There's electrical pulses in our heart. These electrical pulses are what connect us to the Wi-Fi. You can live without a brain, but you can't live without a heart. As in, you can be brain dead and still survive, you know? But you can't have no heart and still survive.
If you're brain dead.
But you can have no heartbeat and still survive.
No, you can't.
You can. No.
If you connect it to a machine that is artificially pumping your
No,
blood
but like
through your
scientists define death as the heart, the brain being dead.
Yeah, and if you
no, or the heart. People are brain dead. Lots of people are brain dead.
yes, but they alive? I don't think
Brain dead as in like there
No.
blood flow.
What we're getting confused is here. Being alive is one thing. Being able to interact with the environment because your brain is dead is another thing.
I like that. Okay, so
They're still alive.
blood is still flowing.
Of course.
But
They're not able to interact with their environment. So by all understanding, they are brain dead.
I was talking about like in sense of actual.
No, I know what you mean, yeah.
I guess in that sense, maybe, yeah.
But remove the heart and you're gone. I mean, remove the brain too, but I mean, the brain can be dead, but the body's still surviving. The heart cannot be not pumping and still survive. No,
Yeah,
it's
to some
impossible.
extent.
Yeah.
Well, then how do you explain that? I think there's been a case that a person have this machine as a heart and still survived.
Yeah,
And
because it's still pumping the blood through the body.
but how come it's like you replace your heart and you still think as you
Do
were?
they? I don't think they replace the heart. They put a pacemaker on it, which regulates your heartbeat. You know what I mean? They connect it onto the heart. I don't think anybody's got a fully mechanical heart.
Let me just put-
At least I've never heard about that.
Okay.
It's funny also you said that the brain is the motor and the heart is the gasoline because
They're definitely connected. I mean, I'm not denying that.
Well, I
But
think
I always say to you, like, the reality that you think is real is simply a construct of the brain. Like, if I asked you, Henry, if I told you, please give me love, how would you do that?
I don't know, show some caring.
Exactly. You would show some caring.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be able to give me the love, right?
Well, maybe
So love doesn't exist. It's just an abstract term. Based on your senses, you now think that love exists because I give you a hug. You're like, he loves me. No, I gave you a hug. And then there's a chemical reaction in your brain which says, oh, he loves me. But love doesn't exist because you can't give it to me. Show me hate. Give me hate. And it's the same thing everyone says. I'll punch you. No, okay. Well, then you punch me. Give me hate. All that is a reaction. It's an interaction with the reality. The actual concept itself is non-tangible. It doesn't exist.
Well, hate as in like, what do you say? You could walk out of the podcast and I would, it's hypothetical, and I'd go in my bed. I would just hate you. You know, it's like, I don't like you. Again,
But that's just a mental thought on because you observed an action. So through the observation, you deduced something different, and then you formed this feeling.
Oh, there we go. I found it. Man lives 555 days without a heart.
Is it like fully mechanical?
It's
But was he like living, or was he like in bed?
No, he was playing basketball.
Really?
He's black. I mean,
Wait. The real heart, it was refined with the device.
allow Larkin to stay home instead of hospital while waiting to receive or transplant.
Right.
Yeah, we'd have to make sure that that is verifiable, something like that, you know.
Well, I've seen that.
I've never heard of because then anybody who had heart disease or heart problems, why do you think people have to wait for a heart transplant?
Because
In this article, it says this guy put the device until he got the transplant.
So it was pumping his heart.
Yeah, he was in his home.
Exactly.
yes, so he's pumping his heart.
Exactly.
But his heart
He's
is
still
still
got his
there.
heart.
Yes, that's what he's.
It's not that you've put some kind of random thing in your body. I don't believe that. Because I believe if you take that, if you do that, I think you will. That could be the origin of like cyborgs and artificial intelligence, like dead humans, in my opinion. Imagine knowing a person has no heart. Think about that.
I mean, back in the days, it would be very weird, but now we would think it in medical terms, and it wouldn't be that different.
But I wonder if it would change their character or whatever.
I mean, the person who got the heart transplant and started dreaming the dreams.
Why do you think they don't have any sort of mechanical device yet which can replace a heart? If they can supposedly send rockets to Mars.
About that, we should talk about that.
I'm thinking.
I don't know much about the topic.
Anyway. To Mars, you want to go? Would you go?
I would go. I mean,
You'd go?
I would not pass the physical test, but yeah.
Well, you never know. I think they say that to get to Mars, it takes 6 months.
Training, huh? No,
Supposedly,
The trip takes 6 months. But the problem with the whole moon landing, not to divert, it's based on the same topic here. There's this radiation belt around the Earth called the Kepler belt or something. Now, they say that it's impossible for humans to pass through that because of the amount of radiation. Why have we never gone back to the moon? And why have they not sent anybody back to the moon? Why?
what do you mean? Not sent anyone back to the.
Why have we never gone back to the moon?
Well, they claims. I'm just saying they claims that it's too cost expensive, like cost too much, and they have nothing to gain. I mean, the whole thing is skeptic, but how do you explain that? Did we see the rocket actually went up? And did they?
That was all done. Have you seen Hollywood movies?
Yes, but
They did that in a theater in California somewhere, because they were actually, it was the space race with the Russians, right?
yes.
And
Yeah, Why didn't they? If it was fake, why didn't the Russians expose the U.S.?
I think it was a very well-made video. And even if the Russians say that's fake, the Americans won't believe it. You know? And even, you know, Buzz Aldrin, the one who landed on the moon, or the other one, what was his name again, the other guy? Anyway, in one interview, I think you can actually find it on YouTube, they ask him about the moon landing being fake, and he punches the reporter.
Oh yeah, I swear it on the Bible, right?
Something like that, and he punches him.
Is that Neil Armstrong?
There was another one, Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin, that's it.
Buzz Aldrin.
Yeah. Neil Armstrong, he was the first one. I think it's Buzz Aldrin who punched the guy. And one of them said on their deathbed, one of them died, they were like, yeah, it was all bullshit.
Really?
Yeah. Why have we never gone back?
Good question.
You'd think we would. Why has Russia not gone? Why is China not gone?
Oh, China.
Oh, yeah.
Why is India not gone? They can only send probes.
Indians.
India sent a probe.
I know.
to
Recently
moon
they sent a probe.
under the budget of Interstellar. No, lower than the budget of Interstellar.
And you know what's interesting? Everybody's been looking for that flag. Nobody can see it. Where is the flag? There's no gravity there. There's no wind. Should be there. Where's the flag?
Indian flag.
Biodegradable.
No, not the Indian flag. The American flag.
India never get under.
Wait. No, well, they send a probe. They send a.
If there is an American flag on the moon, then I'll believe they went there.
I mean,
They planted their flag there. You know that famous photo, right?
maybe it's too small. I can see it.
Come on, man. Why don't they land in the same place that the Americans landed then?
Well, I can't find it.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something smells Hollywood to me about this whole thing. Anyway, apparently there's this radiation that goes around the planet that it makes
Is
it
it called the
impossible.
Van Allen belt?
Yeah, maybe that's it. That apparently would influence humans to a terrible degree. And that's why they haven't sent anybody. And the technology in the 60s, if they can't even do it now, how did they do it in the 60s?
Yeah, there's no way. But have we had like the audience where you have the footage of the actual rocket landing back in the Earth? Do we have that?
Of the thing landing in the sea.
Okay.
Normally lands in the sea. Takes like these umbrella.
I think they landed
Yeah,
in
but
parachutes,
that
right?
could have been dropped from a bomber or something. You never know. It was an elaborate story. It's the same as 9/11. You know?
9/11.
Let's switch topics.
Oh, 9/11.
9/11. Let's go.
Yeah, I think the moon landing is really skeptic, and I don't think it's real. But the 9/11, I don't see the point of it being fake.
It's
Well,
not.
It's not that. Of course it was real.
No, being planned by the U.S. government.
No, to control all the oil reserves, the biggest financial thing in the world, control the Middle East.
Sacrificing.
You
like
got the money. Yeah, of course, that's nothing for them. Sacrifice 3,000 people.
For 6 million Iraqis.
Come on. These governments are run by psychopaths. To get to a level of power like that, you need to be a narcissist. You know? You need to stomp on other people to get to that amount of power. That's just the way it is. You lack empathy. They've done studies about narcissists. Narcissists are in high levels of power. Why do you think all these child sex grooming, all this, it's all these presidents and stuff? Why does that always go hand in hand? Because they're sick, non-empathetic narcissists.
Well, I think it could be also the other way around. Like poor people, they tend to conduct more crime, huh? If you can.
Not necessarily. You can go to a poor country.
I mean, like Hitler was a very in a very high position, but he was still a narcissist.
Yeah, very much so.
Well, Hitler grew up poor. He was homeless.
I don't think it's got any. I grew up poor.
It doesn't prove anything.
So I don't understand your argument.
No, I'm saying.
You're saying that being poor, you tend to be a narcissist. I think being poor makes you more humble. Go to Thailand, go to these countries, go to Cameroon. The people are super humble. They won't rob you. I traveled through India. There's dirt poor. The people are the friendliest people ever. I'd never look at that Indian guy and say, wow, he's a real narcissist. They help you. If you don't have food, he'll give you some of his food, even though he's dirt poor. You ask a rich person, hey, give me food. He looks down at you like you're a piece of shit. You know what I mean?
But also, if you were female, you went to India, it would be a different story.
Yeah, but that's cultural. That's because the Indians have been sexually repressed for a very, very long time.
As in? What
As
does that mean?
in, it's been shunned upon to like... You see the difference between the West and the East?
We are from the East.
Yes, you guys are. Is that the West went through the Renaissance, and you guys did not. There's no other culture that has had a Renaissance. And the Renaissance, what it did was it caused the Westerner to be a free thinker. Free art, free sexuality, homosexuality, freedom of speech. All these ideas come from here because we had a Renaissance period. We were able to finally let the human being express itself in every single way possible without being told no, until Christianity came. And then it took, but then by that time the Renaissance had happened, so there were still free thinkers living in conjunction.
No, Christianity came before Renaissance
Yeah.
came after Christianity.
Yeah, exactly. The other way around. But, and then again, you see this institution would try to control the people's thought patterns. But yes, ultimately Europe had, you see, that's why everyone always relates the Renaissance to like nudity and stuff like that. Now, imagine this. For thousands of years, all the art that you had seen was normally being created by priests and by the churches and stuff. It was normally two-dimensional art of Jesus, Mary, baby, the same kind of things with mosaics. You know those old things,
Yeah.
Jesus with his mudras and all that. That was the art. Someone came along and studied ancient Greece, because ancient Greece also contributed substantially to this before Christianity. And they used to make like nude statues and stuff like that. This is called humanism, right? Somebody came during this Christian time and started studying the ancient Greek sculptures and stuff, and like, wow, let me paint that. Let's change this Christian stuff. So for the first time, they painted a nude body with a snake wrapped around it, stuff like that. They'd never seen that before. And then they would put that in the local tavern, the local place to drink, right? Now, it's hard for us to imagine because we are super advanced. But back then, you go into a tavern and you've never seen an artwork of a naked woman with a snake wrapped around it. It blows your mind. It's like seeing a big screen IMAX theater TV. Think, you have to put yourself in that. They walk in there and they're like, oh my God, I've never thought of something like this before. They're talking about, hey, have you seen that artwork it's a naked woman? It's like, starts changing the human mind. Then the guy who was drinking in the bar that night, he goes home and he writes a song about it. Instead of a Christian song, for the first time he's writing a song about a beautiful naked lady. You see how this contributes to the evolution of the Renaissance? It spreads. He performs it in the square. The people love it. They do the same. And so the Renaissance takes over and free thinking evolves. The guy gets home. He's got a snake. He loves the femininity. He could be a little bit homosexual. He looks at himself in the mirror. He puts the snake around his body. And he poses in the same pose as the woman in the artwork. So now he's expressing himself as well in a more homosexual, more free. Again, with the Renaissance. Do you understand what I'm saying? Free expression. That's what I mean. Okay. This is what changed the European mind, was the Renaissance. Okay. And it expanded to all aspects. And then we took the philosophy as well from the Greeks. You know? But remember, Europe was also in dark ages for a long time, where the Black Death, half of the population of Europe died.
Yeah,
Plague, all of that stuff. So, but that idea of individuality stayed in the European mind. And that's the difference between the East and the West. Okay. That's why everyone wants to come here, because of the freedom that we have.
Okay, so wait, what does that have to do with what
Yeah,
you said?
what topic were we on? Sorry.
On the 9/11.
No, sexual crimes in India, right?
Oh, yes. So, the Indians used to be really open. They came up with the Kama Sutra. And on the temples, you can see all of these Indian yogis in beautiful sexual positions and everything. But with the introduction of Islam and other doctrines,
Britishers.
the repression, yes, the British as well, all of this contributed to blocking the Indian's mind. Sex is bad.
Haram.
It's bad.
No, it's not haram. It's
No. But listen, I lived in India, right? The girls on this project this NGO, right? So we would like take the bicycle, we go into the village to go buy some fruit and vegetable. The girls couldn't go because they would be riding their bicycles into the village, and an Indian guy on a motorbike would drive past and just grab her tits, her breast, just grab it and then drive off. Like, what pleasure do you get out? And this happened several times.
that doesn't happen in Kerala. Okay, very less.
Oh, I think it might happen there.
Happen where?
Very less in Kerala,
Yeah.
but sure, yeah.
It's all the North Indian part.
Every single Indian yogi who has come to the West to teach yoga, like in the 60s, 70s, ended up molesting the woman.
Yeah, I heard about
All
it.
of them. Every single one of them.
Yeah, they did.
Why? You're such an enlightened being. All of a sudden you got all these Western women. You can't control your dick, but you're such an enlightened being.
But then they're not enlightened then.
They're not enlightened. They're pulling the wool over your eyes.
That's what I'm saying.
Even no, not just that. Even Tibetan Buddhist monks. It's been who was that guy who wrote the Tibetan Book of the Dead? I forget his name. Yeah, he was up for rape charges as well. So he was like molesting his students. So this guy teaching you tantric techniques. That's why you have to be very careful of the word tantra. Oh, I can teach you the special sexual technique tantra. Blah, blah. Then the guy ends up molesting you.
Karma Lingpa,
Yeah, I'll just
The Tibetan Book of the Dead.
book by Bardo Dodo. No,
Yeah, it's called the Bardo Todo.
then it's by Karma Lingpa. But what about in the okay? But even then, what do you say? I saw the statistics. U.S. has way more sexual crimes than India,
but
and the Middle East, which is more
No.
closed,
I don't
which
believe
is more.
that.
No,
I don't believe that.
okay, then the Middle East, which is even more closed, you could say they have even less sexual crimes.
No, it goes unreported.
don't worry.
No, but then even it is, but no, that happens in US and Australia too. There was this case in Australia where this girl did not report it because she would be shamed.
Yeah, but it's to a very lesser degree.
But if you imagine,
Europeans and Americans tend to report that stuff. If you're raped in these villages in the middle of the desert, who are you going to report it to?
No, the Arabs are very strong people. This women's rights, that's you violate a woman's right, and they're gonna. They're very, what do you say, strict on these kind of matters.
Yeah, I think in more civilized Arab countries, like in Saudi and stuff. Yes, but not in.
not in Morocco.
They're still tribal.
Okay,
Not in.
They're still very tribal, and I think it goes unreported. There's no way that's. I don't know.
But that happens in what that
But
happens
yeah,
in
it
Western
happens everywhere.
countries.
Yeah,
it happens
it
everywhere.
does.
So
Well, not Asian people. We don't.
okay, no.
No, Asians don't do it. You never hear about an Asian raping someone. Isn't that weird, eh?
Oh,
I mean,
No, I mean, of course it happens. You know, another thing you never see: a pregnant Chinese woman.
No, I have
Listen,
not.
ask yourself that. Have you ever seen a pregnant Chinese
I've
woman?
never seen a pregnant Chinese woman since I came here. But
I've never seen a pregnant Chinese woman. Have you?
No, I haven't.
Nah, that's bullshit though.
Are you guys aliens or something, dude?
Nah, that's bullshit. Your whole life.
Bro, I swear I've never seen a pregnant Chinese lady. I swear to God. Have you?
No, I haven't.
And maybe if they get pregnant, it doesn't look Chinese.
What, do they stay at home or what? No, there must be a reason.
No, let me just search up how
Yeah.
pregnant.
No, Google this, because I did it as well. I've never seen a pregnant Chinese lady. Google that.
There's so many memes. Bro. Actually, I just sent my homeboy the other day a meme. He's like, "Oh my god, I saw a pregnant lady," and he's like, "Really? That happened to you?" And
I mean, listen, man. If I go to China, I'm sure I'll see a pregnant Chinese lady there.
But what my take is,
What does it say? What do the memes say there?
There's a lot of people ranting about it in Reddit.
Okay, yeah.
I think that's the Mandela effect what we're talking about.
No, the Mandela effect is when you saw one thing one way, and now it's
Because people,
it's different.
It's because people be saying that.
Bro, I've never seen a pregnant Chinese lady. I'm just saying.
I don't believe it.
You went to Thailand? Did you go to Thailand?
Yeah.
You did. Okay.
Yeah, but they're not Chinese, man.
They're not Chinese.
Check this guy.
What is this guy doing?
Thailand is not China, man. That's the same as saying.
Oh, my bad.
That's like saying a Russian is a Spanish.
I meant. Okay, I thought when we talk about Chinese, we were talking about Asian women in general. Okay, we're gonna cut that out. Okay, we're gonna cut that.
Kind of racist.
We cut that.
They are just. They don't even look alike. I mean, if you say Korean.
No, Thais are like short and darker skinned.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
They more look like more Latin. I don't know.
In a way, yeah. Yeah.
We'll cut that out.
No, not that.
No, leave that in.
Leave that in. Show the world.
Yeah.
I thought.
Yeah, but you're Asian.
I'm Asian too.
You share the same continent as him.
True, but
Think of how many different races there are, and then that's why it pisses me off when people say Africa's only black. You know? Okay, I know I'm not originally from, but you guys, your continent, you guys are originally from your continent. So if you say Asian, who are you talking about? Indian? Half of Russia is in Asia as well. That's white people. China, you know? You guys, Chinese, Indian, same continent. Wow, amazing.
I think when referring to Asian.
even the
Thailand, Cambodia.
Arabs.
Saying Asian.
Yeah,
people
Kazakhstan, going into part of Turkey. Turkey, strongest military in Europe, by the way. You know that?
Turkey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you know
In
that?
the Middle East.
Turkey has the strongest military in Europe. How crazy is that?
Europe or Middle
I
East?
believe it.
No, I think Europe.
I believe it's the country like.
Or at least they have the most soldiers. There's something. Just correct me if I'm wrong. There.
Europe, it's UK, France, Italy.
Yeah.
But Middle East, I think Turkey.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Didn't we read about? We spoke about it the other
Yeah,
day. I think.
I think it's Turkey. It's Turkey, Iran, Egypt.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah, it's Middle East.
Yeah.
That's why because
Okay.
the Israeli-Palestine conflict. You're like, why?
Apparently,
why
they've got a very strong army as well.
Yeah, why isn't like the strongest military in the Middle East not acting up or taking action?
Yeah, that's a good point. Like all this rant about free Palestine, and you have their neighbor like Turkey. They have so much power, but they don't do anything.
But that's what if.
But they expect us to do something.
No,
about
but what do you want them to do? They like Turkey just I think they just started their economic boycott. I think they limited exports or something. Why they started their economic stuff because
it. No, because all this rant protests in every place in the world, like UK, feels like.
Can I ask you a question? Why do you think that all Islamic countries are underdeveloped and not?
about the UAE.
Apart from that, but that's new oil money. Before they discovered that it was a shithole.
No,
Show me one Islamic-run country
okay.
that is as good as the West.
Okay, Islamic run. Okay, so excluding UAE.
Yeah, because that's new. They just discovered the oil. It's going to be finite. It's in the next 50 years they'll be poor again.
Okay. So first of all, if you're looking back at history,
Considering
they basically have barely any resources. The Middle East, half of it is a desert.
Japan
Yes.
has no
Yes.
resources.
Japan is not either. Yeah, it's true.
Huh?
Japan has no
They're
resources.
farming. They are fishing.
Neither does Norway, Sweden,
Norway has-
Iceland. It's very harsh lands.
It's very harsh land. Japan has no natural resources.
Well, let's look back. Baghdad. You know what's Baghdad?
Yeah.
At one point of history, they were the only cities in the world that was that had oil lamps at night.
Yeah, but that's because it was a trading route. So that's like
Not
saying,
because Islamic ruled. Yes. The father of modern
but
medicine.
with other people's money. That's like saying, an example of that today is Dubai. Dubai functions like that because of foreign intervention, money, trade routes, blah, 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 blah. but it's in the Middle East. So that's always been my question. Like, okay, so it's an old religion, old thing, but why are all the countries so impoverished? And
Then let's start with Iraq. The U.S. invasion.
no. That's only in the last 20 years. Before that, 20 years ago, Spain was 1,000 years
Before
ago.
that,
Spain was good.
if you look, before that, Libya was doing great until the US invaded. Libya, they had free
dictator.
healthcare, they had free education,
So
oil
does
price.
so does North Korea.
No, but
Libya was doing great under a dictator. Come on.
That's what I'm saying. Every time I start an argument,
It's not an argument. It's
but have you studied Libya's history though? Have you checked what people were
I've
like?
read about it. Yeah.
What people
And
think of Gaddafi and the current leader now?
Yeah, and if you ask a North Korean what they think of Kim Jong Un, they'll tell you that they love him.
oh my God, they love it.
They're brainwashed.
So
They had no foreign media in
no,
Libya.
they're blackmailed. North Koreans are blackmailed.
No. You can't fake that. He walked past, they start crying.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're faking that.
No, they're not fake.
well, some of them, no, but, well,
of them are faking
some
it.
do, but some don't. Because if they don't do it, they end up in prison.
Yes, but to some degree they
They have to
really
act.
rock, you know.
And they knew that if they did anything against Gaddafi, they'd be murdered. He was a dictator, man. Come on. Okay, sure.
Okay, then let's talk about the what do you say, Islamic Golden Age. What ruined it? The Mongols attacked Baghdad. They destroyed the libraries. You know, it was, one legend says that the rivers turned blue because of the inks from the books in the library. You know,
No, but that's one city. I'm talking about an empire here. A civilization.
yeah, it was one. I think it was the Abbasid Caliphate. Gone. Yes, and what do you say?
Yeah, but look how many wars Europe has been through. Europe's been through much more wars than anybody else. And we come back stronger every single time. And you got to ask yourself why. Think about it. We've been attacked
gotta
by
get
Vikings, Romans, Spartans.
I mean, if you look at Jerusalem, okay, first
But think about it. The European civilization, the culture, has castles, evidence of these huge castles, these huge
okay, so
ships.
what
Where's
is,
all the stuff from everywhere else?
so what makes something great is huge buildings, huge.
No, it shows innovation and initiative.
So you think Burj Khalifa is something
No, but it's only one. What I'm talking about through the European civilization is that it
but the
was a
Taj Mahal,
Yeah, but that's new.
that's Mughal Empire.
Yeah, but it's kind of newish.
When was the Taj Mahal? 1632.
Yeah.
Islam was there from 650. 1000 years later.
No, I know. Of course, they did some interesting stuff like bring in algebra, but that's got nothing to do with Islam itself. That's got to do with the thought pattern.
Of course, because
I think that when
but Islam in what do you say, helped them help them with motivation and guidance to seek out these subjects. They were motivated to learn about the earth, the environment because of this stuff. But like I said, we brought in modern optics, father of modern medicine, algebra. What else? There's so many other stuff.
Algebra is from India.
No,
Yes.
no, algebra is
I did a presentation the other day, and it's discovered in India and written in Hindi, and then
Arabic.
no. That was the number system. The guy who invented the algebra, they took the number system from India, but they did not invent the algebra itself because India had zero.
I think that's
I think the name algebra is evidence of their Arabic.
Yeah, because Al-Khwarizmi
Anything that starts with al is normally
algorithms. Yes.
Yeah,
Arabic was there before Islam.
true.
That's what I'm saying.
I believe that religions put us back in the dark ages. Because
but
when the Moors brought over the stuff, a lot of them were not Muslim.
Yeah.
They were just
They were
Moors,
just controlled by Muslims, but they
yeah.
still Arabic.
exactly.
They just invaded
Moors.
by the Islam and
Moors is what they called the people from Saudi Arabia and stuff who came into Europe. Remember this. Think about this, Another thing. The Moors were here For 700 years. That's longer than any European has ever
What is
conquered.
Moors? I've never heard of
Moors,
it.
Moors. Moors.
I don't know. I don't know.
Moors.
I don't know much.
Okay, well,
It's,
just, read about it.
who was Muslim or had dark skin? Okay, Moroccan. I don't know. It's a lot
Yeah,
of-
what's wrong with Moroccan? Like, where they came from? Why didn't like?
Some of them are Berbers originally. So listen, we mustn't get confused here.
But still Islam in the Islamic empire took over the Persian Empire. They defeated them, and they gave us modern algebra, modern
Yeah, but
optics,
where's
modern
your what I mean is, where's the civilization here? Show us proof of an advanced civilization.
like I said, the Mongols removed Baghdad from the map.
Not just Baghdad was a small region.
No, it was a cap. It was
A capital.
Yeah,
Okay, so that's like saying they wiped out London. There's the rest of Europe that has evidence of an extremely advanced
no, but I said the
civilization.
Mongols reach as far as Palestine, Syria. They reached till there. They plunged all these people. Then you had the Crusades again. So you're talking about then the Ottoman Empire came. What did the Ottomans do?
Yeah, but
No, I don't know much about history. I can't.
no, but these normally
I'm not-
contribute. It's the same as when things were conquered by the Spartans, then the Romans, then this. Everybody contributes, and so you see a building that has been built on top of and on top of and on top of, because the three civilizations.
So do you consider Hagia Sophia as something Islamic?
What is that?
Hagia Sophia is a church that turned into a mosque, but it's, could you say it's contributed, or
Yeah, I guess it's contributed then.
so
yeah,
then it's
of course.
the credit goes to the Islamic Ottoman Empire?
I mean, it depends who built first. You know.
I don't know. I'm not knowledgeable, so I can't comment much.
Anyway, that's irrelevant. What were we talking about then? Before that?
The 9/11.
No. You just said something.
The Moroccans.
The Moroccans are originally Berbers. They were not Berber. 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 Now they are originally from Northern Africa and Western Sahara. Okay, they are not originally Muslims or Arabs. Okay, a lot of them have blue eyes, red hair actually. A lot of them look Caucasian, original Berbers. But then what happened when the Muslims came over, they started mixing with the Berbers and conquering the Berbers, who were a mountain people who lived in the mountains. But they found that the Berbers had a lot of similarities to the people who live in the Basque country in Spain. The same clothing, the same dancing. If you pull up some pictures of Berbers, they look white. So a lot of people suggest that the northern Morocco was actually inhabited by white Berbers before the Islamic rule. Yeah. And that's why Moroccans have a distinct look to them. So we mustn't get confused between Arabs and Moroccans. Arabs are what you find in Kuwait and Saudi, and bigger nose, little bit yellowish skin. You know what I mean? Like black hair. Almost like Iranians, Persians in a way. That's what they are. Then you get like Moroccans. They are not the same. They're not Arabs. And people often get confused and call Moroccans Arabs or Algerians. They're not Arabs. Arabs are from the Middle East.
Arabic speak.
Yes, exactly. That's the origin of this stuff. And then you get the Berbers, and then, so history is very interesting in that sense. I mean, there was on the Tenerife, the islands there, the next to Spain, the 3 islands, the Canary Islands. You've heard about them. There was a white tribe living there called the Guancho people.
As native.
Native. And when the Spanish went over there, they encountered the Guancho who actually looked like them. That's how they mixed in together. And the Guancho had even built pyramids on Tenerife. If you type into Google, you can see a pyramid that was built on Tenerife Island. Imagine, by these people. So, Pyramid Canary Islands, Guancho people. So I think we're confused about the origin of history and
But okay, I wanna go back. I wanna go back. I mean, if you think about it,
I'm gonna go look for a charger because my shit's out.
yeah, sure. Algeria, Morocco, they have been under colonialism. Ottoman Empire was under colonialism for a bit. They had a lot of British influence, and they had, the Ottomans broke up because of them. Not because of them. There's many factors. Then if you look at Afghanistan, it had again British influence. The Soviets. I think it's just if you think if any religion is getting attacked as much as Islam is, you think it would survive? Media attack,
I think
physically
Europe
attack.
Europe has been more conquered than any of those countries.
No, I'm talking about
you mentioned.
attacked as in
Yeah, but that's only
targeted.
in the last 50 years. At
50
maximum.
years. They were always in war.
They were never in my I don't think we can point to a decent civilization in the Middle East.
What do you mean by decent civilization?
Like with freedoms of like Europe.
Okay, so what is this?
You know what I mean?
civilization?
Freedom of speech,
Freedom of
laws.
what is freedom of speech? I didn't get that. Does it include hate speech?
Who decides what hate speech is?
Burning a holy book, or
Yeah, it should be allowed.
it should be allowed. Because I've been in a dialogue with the Italian teacher here. He said the point of freedom of speech is to defend your rights, but not to criticize others, but to defend your own
But
rights.
surely that goes against freedom of speech then. I mean, I'm not saying it's right to burn a holy book,
Then why
but you
why
should be able to do it.
if it's why should something why is something bad allowed? Why should something that's bad be allowed?
But he doesn't think it's bad because maybe he's Christian.
So
He thinks it's good.
like with your logic, shouldn't something bad be banned?
But you're saying that's bad. I don't see it as bad. I see it as freedom of speech.
So it's not bad to disrespect.
No. As long as you're not hurting anybody.
You're hurting my feelings. You're hurting millions
Your
of
feelings.
That's it. So
My line of hate speech is call for violence.
so only physical
Yeah.
harm is.
A call for violence or physical harm. Or threats of violence. I'm going to kill you. That is where I draw the line. Burning somebody's holy book because I have a different opinion.
Then what about cyberbullying then? If mental harm doesn't matter,
Yeah.
cyberbullying should be allowed.
I think that the platform should be moderated because it's a private entity. I think
But shouldn't
like
freedom
for
of
example, Instagram, it's a private company. So they can do whatever they want. It's not up to me to decide. If it were a public platform, then it should be free.
If I were to, let's say there's a second of Aso kid and I'm gonna cyberbully him, yeah, I'm gonna make fun of him, I'm gonna make memes, I'm gonna make deep fakes. Should I be allowed to do that?
Well, he shouldn't be on there then, if it hurts his feelings.
No, but he's just trying to have a good time with his friends,
Yeah.
He doesn't know that I'm taking pictures, Hypothetically, I'm taking pictures of him in school. I'm making memes and stuff.
Yeah.
Should that be allowed?
That's not really hate speech. That's cyberbullying. It's kind of different. I mean, that happens every day.
But it's still mental hurt though. It's
hurts.
hurting.
But
your
still, he's not calling
mental
for
state.
violence. So it's like people did that with Donald Trump all the time. Made him look like a pigeon. You know what I mean? Like,
But still, I'm talking about like in this case,
yeah, it should be allowed.
cyberbullying. I should be allowed to.
No, cyberbullying depends to what degree. I'm going to kill you, then you should be blocked.
Making deep fakes, making memes, making fun of him, putting him in very bad place.
Yeah, I mean, it's not right. It's sad that you would do that, yeah. But, yeah, it should be allowed. Either you're for it or you're not. Because then we have people who decides hate speech.
I get your point.
Who decides it then? So you get a bunch of left-wing people who then everything that you say is hate speech. You know, they believe now that they are right and that, you know, this whole man can be a woman and woman can be...
So
and
the
if you don't do
solution
that,
is to allow everything.
okay, so let me ask you a question. A guy says he feels like a woman and people bombard him and say, you're not a woman, you're a man biologically. The left blocks them. Is that hate speech?
What is hate speech? The block?
The guy is saying.
Okay. No, because he's just saying what... No,
But then they're being blocked now.
but they're not... But it's
And
not...
you're really hurting his feelings because he feels like a woman.
But it's not... But it's right though. It's right to say that.
Do you see how your opinion differs? We get into murky water.
So the solution is to allow everything. I'm not...
Yeah. To allow everything except the call for violence. You're a fat pig. Okay, well, grow some thick skin then, man. If someone calls you
What about like, what do you say, deep fakes of a kid and like a half-naked man or...
that. Okay, yeah, but then if it goes into like pornography and stuff like that, then yes, of course, that should be blocked.
We have.
But isn't that
We have a problem right here.
freedom? But that's not violence
The
though.
minor.
Some
then-
violence then.
If it's a minor.
But it's not violence though, like in your logic.
No, if it's a minor, then yes. If it's not a minor, then that's fine.
So if I so
If you made a deep fake of my mom, like, what can I do?
no, but I'm just asking the question: should it be allowed? You know?
Yes.
Let's say tomorrow, it's my 18th birthday, and tomorrow anyone can make deep fakes of me.
Yeah.
That
Should it
should
be
be
allowed?
allowed.
Yes. Yeah. In fact, I'd watch them. No, of course, because otherwise you get into the murky ground of like who decides what hate speech is.
Murky ground. That's what.
Because then you just told me that it
That's
should
what-
be allowed
then
to
we
tell a
should-
trans
then-
person that they're not a man.
Then we should have a dialogue. But I think.
Is a trans man a
I have
woman?
my answer because.
Is
I
a trans
just-
man a woman?
I.
Is a trans man a woman?
No, because by definition, it's not.
So you're hurting their feelings there.
That's what. Okay,
Should that
so
be allowed?
I get your point. We have
This
to
is what
have
I'm
a
saying.
dialogue.
Yeah.
That's what I have. Okay, me personally, I have my solution. I just refer back to my book. Yes, I refer back to the right path. You don't have an answer. Okay, fine. I get your point. In your point of view, yes, I think.
Guys, I think
What?
the MacBook ran out of charge.
Oh.
So
Wait, when did it run out
yeah,
of
I
charge?
think it's saved. Yeah.
Huh?
I tried to charge it.
Is it saved? Is it saved?
Yeah, it's saved. It's saved automatically.
Okay, well that's good.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, his MacBook ran out of charge, and so the microphones are disconnected. We are using the phone mics right now. So yeah, you can look at that camera. I will look at that camera. So yeah, so I guess I know we stopped this at like in the middle of a debate, maybe an interesting one, but we'll have to stop this for now, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Yeah. And thank you for coming here.
Thank you, gentlemen, and thank you for us touching on some deep politics, some religion, some conspiracies, and we'll definitely expand in the future. Remember to please buy Mr. Z's new merch. He's got one amazing style, super good quality, and really, really cool. I'd actually love to get one as well.
I'll get you one.
A super, super cool style.
I heard it's made in Germany.
Yep.
Yeah.
This one specifically
Made in Germany, looks super thick, keep you warm, good hoodie, and super stylish. So,
Alright
make
then.
yourself. God bless you guys.
Outro.